online learners, it's me, Dr. Heidi, and I'm here this evening to talk to you about some pretty incredible things that Lone Star College Online is doing to make your online learning experience even more incredible than it was before. Now, to kick off this evening, I want to talk to you about two terms that have kind of come to the forefront of the American discourse, and the first one is the term equity. Well, what is equity? I think we all know what equality is. And in terms of online learning, equality is when everybody gets the same thing. You get the same course, you get the same textbooks, you get the same reading. The content is the same for everyone. That's equal. But what about for people like me? I had a traumatic brain injury when I was about 16, and sometimes it makes it very difficult to function in brightly lit environments. And that becomes very pronounced when I'm reading things on a white background on a computer monitor. It gets very intense. Sometimes I have to put on these sweet, sweet reading glasses to take the edge off the light. And I go around the office looking like this all day, and people wonder what's going on. That's just how I cope. It's one of my mechanisms. But what if there's now a tool built into your online course that acts as those reading glasses for you? Pretty cool, right? So that's how we can make our online content a little more equitable. We also have a way now to download readings into an MP3 format so you can listen to them on the go. Or if you have a visual impairment, it makes your content more accessible because now we have multiple formats that we can deliver a written assignment in. So these are a couple things that my buddy Little Tamara wants to talk to you about. Say hi, Little Tamara. Little Tamara's here to talk to you about the Blackboard Ally tool. And the Blackboard Ally tool is now built into D2L to give you some orange reading glasses if you need them, or to deliver your assignment in an MP3 format on the go. So stick around. After Little Tamara gets done talking, I'll come back and we'll chat a little bit more, and then her big sister, Big Tamara, is going to come talk to you about some other services that LSC-Online has to offer you to make your online learning experience a place where you can live your life and thrive online.
Hi, my name is Tamara. Lone Star College is committed to your success, and making our online course files more accessible and usable is a big part of that commitment. So now within your online course, you can transform course files into alternative formats that best suit your learning needs, your busy schedule, and the different devices you use. Next to your course files, you will find the Ally Alternative Formats icon. It looks like an A with a drop-down arrow. Select this and a window will open up offering different types of files that you can download and use. So what are your options? Select the OCR'd PDF if the original file is a scanned PDF. This converts the image into a more readable and searchable document that allows you to highlight, copy and paste, or search for keywords. A tagged PDF is useful if you are using a screen reader or need a smaller file size. Do you ever use your mobile device? If so, download the mobile-friendly HTML format for a simpler, more adaptable version that works great with your phone, tablet, or laptop. Have you ever tried using an e-reader? Free e-readers like Thorium Reader have great features for adjusting the font and contrast of your document. It allows you to take notes and it reads to you. Try it out by downloading the EPUB format and open the file in your preferred e-reader. Are you a student who uses a refreshable Braille display? Try downloading the electronic Braille format. It's a BRF file, so you can take a break from your screen reader. Do you have a long commute or just need a break from reading on a screen? Listen to your course files by downloading the audio MP3 format. And a success tip, students can make a huge improvement in their comprehension if they can listen to the audio version while they read along. The Microsoft Immersive Reader format can help with reading comprehension as well. Check it out. Having trouble focusing while you read or just want to read faster? Download the Beeline Reader format. It adds a subtle color gradient to the text that helps pull your eyes through your reading for easier and faster on-screen reading. There's also a night mode. Lastly, the translated version allows you to choose from 50 different languages to translate content into your preferred language. I encourage you to try out all these different formats to discover what works best for you and to personalize the course to suit your needs so you can live your life and thrive online.
All right, thanks, Lil Tamara. Now I'm about to turn things over to her big sister, Big Tamara, to talk about disability services here at Lone Star College Online. And for those of you who don't know what disability services is, this is the office that you go through if you need to request accommodations for anything. If you have ADHD, if you have OCD, if you have any kind of special need that makes things difficult for you in the online learning space, that's where you would come to Big Tamara to request additional help. 20 years ago, when I was in grad school, I was diagnosed with a disability. But at the time, we didn't really have disability services offices, or if schools did, they were still a very young concept. And when I was diagnosed with my disability, all I was told was you have protections under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Here they are. But I wasn't given an office to go to on campus to request help. I had to reach out to my instructor and say, hey, I have this special need. And then it was up to the instructor to determine if they were going to honor my need or not. Well, that's not really the case anymore. Today we have advocates for you on the campus who are here to help you and make sure that you get the services that you need to be successful in the online learning environment. So next up, I'm going to let Big Tamara talk about what services she has to offer you so that you can live your life and thrive online here at Lone Star College Online.
Hi, my name is Tamara Herod. I'm the Disability Services Manager for Lone Star College Online. I'm one of several disability service providers across the Lone Star College system, and we are here to provide services and accommodations to students. The college is committed to providing equitable access to all students. Through this video, we want to make sure that students know what Disability Services does, how to contact us, and how to request accommodations if needed. We want our process to be as straightforward as possible, and we're here to assist if you have any questions along the way. So let's get started. What is a disability? Some students know they have a disability because they might have used accommodations in high school. However, other students may not even realize that they have a disability or that they can request accommodations, as they may not have ever needed accommodations prior to college. The Americans with Disabilities Act defines a disability as any physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities, such as caring for oneself, performing manual tasks, walking, seeing, hearing, speaking, breathing, learning, or working. A disability can be visible or invisible. One may be born with disabilities, or they may develop later in life. Some common types of disabilities include ADHD, autism, learning disabilities like dyslexia, mental health disabilities like depression or anxiety, health disabilities like migraines, neurological disabilities like seizures or traumatic brain injuries, sensory conditions like vision or hearing loss, or a variety of other disabilities. If you have questions about a specific type of disability, please reach out to us. What if I received services in high school? How do my rights change when I enroll in college? Students with disabilities transitioning from high school to college should know that there are several differences in responsibilities and practices. A main difference is that in high school, the school district identifies students with disabilities and provides testing and support services. In college, a student must self-identify in order to receive services. Lone Star College does not test for the presence of a disability, but we can provide you with community referrals. We do not provide personal attendance or attendant services at the college level. We also do not provide transportation. In college, the student is considered an adult with privacy and confidentiality protections. Parents are welcome to be a part of the process, but they cannot request accommodations for the student. The accommodation request process is an interactive process between the Disability Services Office and the student. So the student must be fully involved and willing to request any services needed. How do I know if I would be able to get accommodations? What type of documentation do I need? In order to receive accommodations, you will have to provide current documentation from a licensed or certified professional qualified to treat and diagnose the disability. This can include medical documentation, such as a letter from your provider or a full evaluation or diagnostic report. Because K-12 and higher education laws differ, it is important to note that K-12 documentation may not fully satisfy Lone Star College's documentation requirements. If you are not sure if you have a disability or have the required documentation, contact our office for guidance. What is an accommodation? Accommodations include academic adjustments and requests for auxiliary aids and services. Accommodations are recommended on an individual basis depending on the student's unique needs. Some common accommodations include testing accommodations, such as extended time on exams and testing in an alternative setting, and accessible desks and chairs. Some common auxiliary aids and services include assistive technology and interpreting services. Reasonable accommodations are made in order to level the playing field for qualified individuals with disabilities. We do not provide any type of accommodation that would result in lowered student expectations, contradict the objectives of the course, or fundamentally alter the nature of the course or skill being assessed. How do I request accommodations? To request accommodations, please visit our Virtual Disability Assistance Center, VDAC. VDAC is the first virtual stop at all campuses for all students requesting accommodations, all new and returning students, dual credit students, and students needing accommodations for placement testing such as the TSIA or AccuPlacer. Students will also use VDAC to upload disability documentation, renew or request changes to accommodations, and retrieve and print disability service records. You can find the Virtual Disability Assistance Center by going to our Accessibility Services and Resources homepage. On this page, you can also find campus contacts. Every campus has an office that provides accommodations and resources. You can find your disability services provider by clicking on the Campus Disability Services Offices tile to find the right office to reach out to. On this page, you can also find instructions on how to request an interpreter or transcriptionist. You can find information for dual credit students and additional resources. To request accommodations through VDAC, click on the Students Requesting Accommodations tile. This will take you to the instruction page for new and returning students. New students must self-identify, request accommodations using VDAC, upload documentation, and actively engage in the process so that we can determine the most appropriate accommodation to fit your unique needs. If you scroll down this same page, you will find the instructions for returning students to renew their accommodations each semester. New students should click on the Request Accommodations Online through VDAC link. Here you will find the online student application. Students must request accommodations each semester. This is because the type of class, whether online or in person, and the subject, whether math or art, are just a few items considered when developing accommodations. This flowchart shows the collaboration between the student and the Disability Services Office. Students should complete the request for disability services and upload documentation using VDAC. A disability service provider will review your request and documentation. They will then contact you to schedule an appointment to discuss and determine appropriate accommodations. Once appropriate accommodations are determined, students must then log back into VDAC to select which accommodations they will apply to each class. Your official accommodation letter will then be emailed to you and your instructors. This process is meant to be interactive, deliberate, and collaborative between the college and the student. It is not meant to be burdensome, but it can take time. So students are strongly urged to begin the process as soon as registration opens each semester and at least 4 weeks before classes begin. By starting early, students are more likely to receive accommodations in a timely manner. However, we do accept requests for accommodations throughout each semester. It is important to know that accommodations are not retroactive. This means that accommodations begin within a reasonable time period after instructors receive the accommodation letter. Sometimes accommodations can be implemented the same day, but sometimes it may take more time to set up more complicated accommodations, such as sign language interpreters, furniture, or setting up exams in the testing center. This time frame can vary from a couple of days to a couple of weeks, just depending on the specific accommodation. So start the process early. If you have any questions about your specific accommodations, reach out to us. It is very important to actively engage and participate in all discussions and decision-making about your accommodations. We also recommend that students discuss their accommodations with their instructors to ensure the accommodations are understood and appropriately implemented. Students are not required to disclose their disability to the instructor. If students encounter any difficulty with their accommodation or its implementation, they should notify their disability services provider right away. Students are expected to be their own self-advocates. However, we are here to help students advocate for themselves and their accommodations. College is an exciting time in your life. Take charge of your education and set yourself up for success. Learn more by visiting our Disability Services website or by contacting our office. We are here to help ensure that you have a fully accessible experience in college. We look forward to working with you. See you soon.